Hello, you are welcome to the Messiah channel. We are an end time channel and we focus on end time events. In today's video, we are looking at the time when the two witnesses will come on the scene. And this video is done in response to a comment that was made by one of our members. The name is Lynn Bernard 7030. You raised a comment and I said I was going to respond to your comment, and you asked a question: when during the end time prophecy will the two witnesses appear on the scene? And you asked the question because you want to know when the two witnesses of the book of Revelation will appear. And you said, my understanding is that the appearance is at the beginning of the 7-year covenant for a period of 3.5 years, after which they will be killed. So Lynn Bernard, you hold the opinion that the two witnesses will appear in the beginning of the 7-year covenant, and it means the two witnesses will appear in the beginning of the 7-year tribulation. For us to do that, we want to give a context of the two witnesses and the 7-year tribulation. For us to do that, we'll go to the book of Daniel chapter 9 verse 27. Daniel chapter 9 verse 27. And we look at Daniel 9:27. And he shall confirm, the Antichrist shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. And in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. Anytime we talk about the 7-year tribulation, the scriptural reference that is relevant is Daniel 9:27. In Daniel 9:27, we know that the Antichrist will operate for 1 week, which is 7 years. And Daniel 9:27 is saying that in the middle of the week, or in the middle of the 7 years, the Antichrist will break the covenant. And so it means the Antichrist will come and confirm a covenant agreement, and then in the middle of the agreement, in the middle of 7 years, the Antichrist will break the covenant. And most people believe that from that time the Antichrist will begin to ask for worship and will intensify the killing of the saints. Because if you look at Revelation 13 verse 7, the Antichrist is given the power to wage war with the saints and overcome them. And so going back to Lynn Bernard, your question is, when will the two witnesses appear on the scene? Is it at the beginning of the 7-year tribulation, or is it at the end of the 7-year tribulation, or is it in the middle of the 7-year tribulation? To answer the question, other Bible scholars have given their opinion, and I will go to a book written by Tim LaHaye. This is the book, Tim LaHaye, and the title of the book is Revelation Unveiled. Revelation Unveiled. Tim LaHaye was one of the most prolific American scholars on the Bible. And he has written a lot of books on the rapture and also the end time prophecies. And what did he say about the time when the two witnesses will appear on the scene? And we will go to his book, and he has said something in page 187 of his book, talking about the two witnesses. They will be on the scene during the first half of the tribulation period to counteract the lying wonders of the Antichrist. And so Lynn Bernard, Tim LaHaye is saying in his book Revelation Unveiled that the two witnesses will appear during the first half of the tribulation period. And so that answers your question. Do I agree with Tim LaHaye? No, I don't agree with Tim LaHaye. Why do I say that? I say that because even Tim LaHaye is inconsistent in his book. And his inconsistency is very apparent because he's saying the two witnesses will appear at the beginning of the 7-year tribulation, page 187 of his book. If you go to page 244 of his book, let's look at page 244 of his book. He says something that is important, and he's saying that during the second half of the tribulation, it will be the Antichrist and the false prophets who will kill those who refuse to worship his image and receive his mark. Tim LaHaye is saying that it will be during the second half of the tribulation that the Antichrist will kill those who do not worship him and accept the mark. Definitely, you know that the two witnesses will not be ready to worship the Antichrist. They will not also accept his mark. These are the principal witnesses who will be sent by God to come and preach to the world and to witness to the world about the gospel and about the kingdom. So you will not expect them to worship the Antichrist or accept the mark of the beast. And Tim LaHaye is saying that it will be during the second half of the tribulation that the Antichrist and the false prophets will kill those who do not worship him and accept the mark of the beast. So logically, it means that it will be during the second half of the tribulation that the Antichrist will kill the false prophet. The Antichrist will kill the two witnesses. It will be during the second half of the tribulation. And so that suggests that if the Antichrist and the false prophet will be killing those who refuse to worship him and accept his mark, then it means that it will be during the second period of the tribulation that the Antichrist will kill the two witnesses. The second half of the tribulation is what is referred to as the Great Tribulation. It's the Great Tribulation because it will be the time that the tribulation will intensify. It is also known, based upon Daniel 9:27, that it will be in the middle of the 7-year tribulation that the Antichrist will break the covenant. As you are aware, the Antichrist will come first as a man of peace, but he will change later on to be a persecutor of the saints, and he will be given power to overcome the saints and to kill them based upon Revelation 13, verse 7. And so I believe that the two witnesses will appear in the middle of the tribulation, and it will happen when the Antichrist has broken the covenant and has initiated his persecution and killing of the saints in the middle of the tribulation. It is at this critical period that I believe that two witnesses will appear on the scene. And so let's look at Revelation chapter 11, where it talks about the two witnesses. And when we look at Revelation chapter 11, we see that Revelation 11 verse 7, and when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascended out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them and kill them. It means that the two witnesses will be killed only when they have finished their testimony. And the Bible is very clear that they will testify for 3.5 years. It means that they will testify in the middle of the tribulation. That is my belief. And it will be for 3.5 years. And after that, the Antichrist, the beast that ascended out of the bottomless pit, will make war against them and kill them. And I believe that they will be killed at the end of the 7-year tribulation, because that is the end of the tribulation. That will be the end of the activities of the Antichrist. And at that point, the Lord will start pouring his wrath on the earth. Because if you look at the book of Revelation, chapter 11, after the Antichrist kills the two witnesses, something happens. If you read Revelation 11, verse 15, and the seventh angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his Christ, and he shall reign forever and ever. It means that at that point, at the time that the two witnesses are killed by the Antichrist, and that will be the end of the show. That will be the end of everything. And at that point, the seventh angel will sound his trumpet. And when the seventh angel has sounded the trumpet, God will pour the wrath of God on the earth. And if you go to Revelation chapter 16, verse 2, the bowl of wrath will be poured, and the first angel will pour his wrath on those who receive the mark of the beast. And they will be the first group of people to suffer the wrath of God. So to answer the question raised by Lynn Bernard, I believe that it will be in the middle of the tribulation that the two witnesses will appear on the scene to testify for 3.5 years, and after that, then they will be killed. So I believe that analysis answers your question. The Antichrist will kill the two witnesses, and the Antichrist will break the covenant with with the many. In the middle of the covenant, he will break it, and that will be the period of the Great Tribulation, and that will be the time the two witnesses will be operating, and they will be operating for 3.5 years, after which the Antichrist will kill them. So that is my analysis with regard to the time in the tribulation when the two witnesses will appear. I thank you for watching this video. I'll leave the links to the video in the description box. Subscribe to the channel and share the video to all the four corners of the earth. Thank you very much.